Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal was on Angel Reese podcast, and they talked about different things about the WNBA. They talked about Angel Reese, the NBA, things of that nature. And this interview went totally left real fast, real quick. Shaquille O'Neal said some controversial, provocative things about what the WNBA should do. Well, one thing, it wasn't really necessarily provocative, that lowering the rim, maybe making the uniforms more sexier. He even made the comment of Angel Reese, maybe wearing those booty shorts that she wore on Wild 'N Out when all her booty meat was hanging out and exposed to everybody. And you can clearly tell Angel Reese was very uncomfortable about this line of questioning or this part of the conversation. And she was, trying to give Shaquille O'Neal hints that, hey, let's just move on. Or can you, step aside from being the horny man and just talk about, in general, about the future of the WNBA. And a lot of people are torching Shaquille O'Neal, talking about, well, he's 50 years old. He should know better. He shouldn't be flirting with someone that's in their 20s. That's Shaquille O'Neal. And you got other people that are, you have other people that are speaking on the behalf of Shaquille O'Neal, talking about, well, that's Shaquille O'Neal being Shaquille O'Neal. He's just being funny in jest. He doesn't really mean what he says. He's just trying to be funny at that particular moment. And that excuse sounds eerily similar to the excuse that a lot of people who are huge fans of Angel Reese, that allowed Angel Reese to slide a couple of weeks ago when she made the comment about her WNBA salary. She can't even pay rent with her WNBA salary. It's not the WNBA's fault that you're living in a place that you that salary cannot justify or afford those living situations. You ever heard of downsizing? And Angel Reese, and I said this in the video a couple of weeks back, that look, I understand that you have an issue with how the WNBA is paying you, but saying that is not going to, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from that, particularly when you got people that are working 9 to 5, working 2, sometimes 3 jobs to try to make ends meet. And you're, talking about how the WNBA salary, your WNBA salary cannot pay your rent. People can't, that's not a logical, justifiable excuse. And people are not going to co-sign to that. Now, a lot of people made excuses for her, saying, hey, she's just a rook. She's young in the game. She ain't got all her, just give her a minute. She just said, just in a moment of time, she just said a boneheaded conversation piece. And I chalked it up to, look, and this is the same thing they're doing with Shaquille O'Neal about when he was on Angel Reese podcast. People that you like, you make excuses for them. I noticed that with a lot of people. Someone that you like, you make excuses for them. Particularly when they say something stupid or they say something that's very offensive. If they're likable, you make excuses for them. However, if it's somebody that you don't like and they said something stupid or they said something offensive, we're already on their head tops. So you have to have the same energy for the people that you don't like when they say something stupid. You have to have that same energy for people that you do like. All right. I'm not saying you have to be on their head tops, but you can't be hypocritical and let Angel Reese and Shaquille O'Neal say what they have to say because they're likable, or they're not really being serious. This is just they'll just be in jest. They'll just being funny, making excuses for them. And someone that you don't like do the exact same thing, and then now you're critiquing them. Okay, so you have to have the energy both ways. All right. Now back to Shaquille O'Neal. And I heard this comment that Shaquille O'Neal is 50 years old. He should, he should act like a grown man. Grown man going on a podcast and saying the things that he said to make the WNBA more sexy and you know basically looking at Angel Reese as a sex object and things of that nature. He's 50 years old. Angel Reese is old enough to be his daughter. Okay, and that's the road and the line everyone's taking. But in reality, this is not unique. You know, throughout the beginning of time, there have been 50, 60-year-old, sometimes 70-year-old men dating 20 something women. All right. So let's quit acting like we have never seen this before. And in some cases, there have been older women dating younger men, like Cher. There's one lady, I think her name is DeRay, whatever her name is. She's on Instagram all day, every day. She got pregnant by an NBA player for the Houston Rockets. I can't think of his name right now. And she's older than him. All right. And once again, if people that we like, we make excuses for them. People that we don't like, now we want to be critical of them. So if you're going to have the opinion of, well, older men shouldn't be dating younger women, well, then why you don't have that same energy when older women are dating younger men? But I digress. We're going to continue with the conversation. The comments Shaquille O'Neal said and the booty short reference on Wild 'N Out that Angel Reese said, and you can clearly tell, you can visibly clearly tell that she was very offended by it, and she was giving him cues that she was offended by it, even trying to change the subject, okay? But he just kept going on and on and on. And my thing of it is, if you're offended by someone talking about your outfit that you wore, that no one put a gun to your head and told you to wear this outfit, it's like this. When you want to wear something, you have to prepare. Once you go out into the public, you have to prepare, and you have to have a mindset that there's going to be two types of people. People that are going to look at you and appreciate the outfit that you wore that's a little provocative, and people that's going to give you the stank face, like, why in the world are you wearing that outfit out in public like that? And you got to be prepared for those type of situations. All right, there's as long as they're not walking up to you, invading your space, invading your privacy, or touching you or anything like that, if they're doing that, then that's we call the police. That's being a creep. If they're staring at you for a long period of time, you want to call them a creep, that's fine. But at the end of the day, women, when you wear these outfits, you got to be prepared for the good and the bad. You have to treat the bad just like you treat the good. When you get the compliments, you don't go, oh, that's offensive. You complimented me on my outfit and the way how my body looks in this outfit. No, there's going to be people that are that's going to dislike the outfit that you're wearing. All right? So you're going to get it from both sides. You're going to get both spectrums. But you still have to prepare for someone's opinion about your outfit. All right? And if you want to be taken seriously, if you want to be taken seriously, then maybe those type of outfits, and I understand Angel Reese is trying to get, she wants to be a model, and I'm pretty sure that she's trying to get a makeup line, she's trying to get a clothing line, and she's, trying to advertise herself to a lot of these clothing brands that, she could be a model too, and she can represent whatever outfits or dresses or whatever, Fashion Nova or whatever. And she has the body, and she can do that as well as playing basketball. I get that, all right. But you have to be prepared for people's opinions about your outfit, good, bad, or indifferent. All right. What Shaquille O'Neal, was it offensive? Yes, it was very offensive. Was it sexist? Yeah, it was very sexist. But at the same time, you wore that outfit. All right. I saw the wilding out outfit, and you just had booty meat just flabbing all over the place. All right. So you have to, if you want to wear that type of outfit, you have to be prepared for the good and the bad and the ugly. Now, do you expect something? Do you expect Shaquille O'Neal to speak? To be very professional on your podcast? I'm pretty sure you do. All right, but Shaquille O'Neal's no stranger to you. You've been knowing Shaquille O'Neal since LSU. So you know how Shaquille O'Neal operates. This ain't nothing new. I'm pretty sure Shaquille O'Neal has mentioned this a time or two, well, with y'all time, being together and all, okay? So you know what you was getting out of Shaquille O'Neal. This is not the first time you meeting Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm pretty sure he has said something similar to that in private conversations. Okay. Now I know that he's a mentor to you, and this, that, and the third. But I'm pretty sure that you have seen him wild out on some of your outfits. All right. So and another thing I want to talk about is the WNBA. I feel like the WNBA has a serious problem. Now, to me, as a guy, I can appreciate these WNBA players, wearing provocative clothing and wearing dresses and sexy dresses and stuff. For me, I can appreciate that. But to the investor who's investing in the WNBA and want the WNBA to turn a profit, which, by the way, the WNBA lost $40 million when in the year of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, as well as the cast of other women in that draft class. They still lost $40 million, even though they have seen some success with the Caitlin Clark effect. Some arenas filling up and things of that nature. Still, it doesn't equate of them turning a profit, and we did a video on that. I do feel like WNBA will turn a profit, but it's just going to take some time. Okay, I felt like the WNBA should have allowed Caitlin Clark. You should utilize whatever wave you can utilize to promote the WNBA, and that particular season, it was the Caitlin Clark effect. Every casual fan of who's a fan of the WNBA was following Caitlin Clark. So I felt like the commissioner and I felt like the marketing team of the WNBA missed the boat on the Caitlin Clark effect. I felt like former WNBA players should have been very supportive of Caitlin Clark, one of your brightest stars, rising and propelling the WNBA to another stratosphere. We just didn't get that from our former WNBA players like a Spoon as Weatherspoon and Monica Manut. Okay, so you know, to me, if you got a league and you're trying to promote this league as being family friendly, marketable to investors out there or to businesses and corporations out there, I think the WNBA commissioner should do what David Stern did with the NBA players back when not Stackhouse, but uh, Steven Jackson and Stack and Allen Iverson, Kobe Bean Bryant, God rest his soul, Penny Hardaway. There was a wave of players in that demographic that would come to press conferences or come into the arena into the arena with gold chains and football jerseys that were 4 sizes too big, baggy pants, do rags on, look like they just came from a rap music video. And David Stern started seeing an epidemic that just did not make the NBA look good, with the corporate dollars and the sponsors and the companies that were giving money to David Stern for the NBA to promote their products, to promote their corporations. And David Stern had to make a mandate to make these NBA players wear suits, wear suit and ties, make it more marketable to, you understand that, you have an image with the urban fans out there in the ghettos and in the projects and things of that nature. But I'm sorry, the people that are watching your game are not from that demographic. They're from they're from rich neighborhoods. They have never been to Compton. They have never been to Old Block. They have never been to any of these places. They don't identify with these players. And David Stern had to put a law in effect that he was making those NBA players wear suit and ties, dress the part. And he had a huge image problem with those players, and he turned it around. And that made the the NBA more marketable and more appreciative, and you was getting more corporate dollars. A lot of those games, there is corporate heads that are watching those games, particularly the playoffs and in the finals, okay? Because how pricey the tickets are, okay? So I feel like the WNBA commissioner is going to have to do the same thing for the WNBA. You have to make the WNBA marketable to the casual fan, and you also have to make it profitable and marketable to the Fortune 500, the corporations, the businesses that want to invest in the WNBA, that want to utilize your stars. Now, there have been a few here and there getting some big-time deals. Caitlin Clark got a big-time shoe deal. She got some sponsors. Angel Reese got a big-time shoe deal. She got some sponsors. Everybody's getting little sponsors here and there. But if you want those major dollars, and if you want everyone to have, every star to have a signature shoe line, you're going to have to make this the WNBA has a huge image problem. It goes beyond talent. Even though they're lacking in talent, I think the talent is only going to get better for the foreseeable future, because everyone's going to copy and mimic what Caitlin Clark's doing, which is just shooting it all over the court. I feel like once you start getting the right players that can shoot anywhere, that's going to make it very exciting, and more and more people will watch and appreciate WNBA games. Okay, and that's where we're heading. It looks like they're heading in that direction. But I also see, I know, the commissioner being lackadaisical with the women in their outfits. I think to me, as a guy, I love seeing them with these outfits, but I'm not investing a ton of money in the WNBA. I'm not wanting my business sponsored by the WNBA. I don't have a Fortune 500 company that wants to do a deal with the WNBA. So they have a huge marketing issue, and image issue. They have a huge image issue, and they do have a talent issue. But I think the talent issue is going to fix its own. But I do feel like they have a huge image problem, and they're still hemorrhaging money. And you want to start quickly turning that around. Now, the WNBA collective bargaining agreement seems like the players are not for this agreement. I don't think they're going to strike, but they do want more money. And I've heard a lot of people talk about that they should get the same amount as the NBA players. And when I hear people like that, it just cringe. Like, look, comparing the WNBA to the NBA is like comparing apples to oranges. Okay, it's just not going to work. It's just not a good comparison. But I do feel like the WNBA can start somewhere and start making a profit very, very soon in the near future. But as far as this Shaquille O'Neal, Angel Reese podcast, look, uh, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest guest she has had on that podcast. Okay, when I mean the biggest guest, I mean someone that that everyone can identify or know. Even people that are not fans of sports know who Shaquille O'Neal is. Now she has also had other guests. I think she had LeBron James' wife on her podcast. I believe she was on Angel Reese podcast. I'm not 100% sure of that, but uh, let's just be real. Savannah James, it just don't have the star power as a Shaquille O'Neal, where people that don't appreciate sports, at least they know who Shaquille O'Neal is. If you put Savannah James in a lineup, people are not going to identify who that is. Okay, and not to say that she's not worthy. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying that that big of a star on your podcast, um, maybe you should have had some ground rules where y'all wanted to go. But I think she's learning on the job. I think she's going to be a better podcaster. I think that she's going to get more and more better deals as an influencer. I think basketball, people feel like she's giving up on basketball. I think she's going to work hard in the gym and work on her skill set to where she can have some staying power in the WNBA, because the days of staying down on the low post, catching your own rebound and just lobbing it back in. I think that that low post game is going to be a thing of the past in the WNBA. And I feel like Angel Reese should focus more on her perimeter. And I think Angel Reese is decent, not too shabby on the perimeter. She just doesn't use it often because she's doing what works for her, being the double double. And the only way you're gonna be the double double, the only way you're gonna get a double double is you got to be close enough to the rebound to catch, to get rebounds or get the ball, to get your ball as a rebound. So yeah. That's all I got. I felt like Shaquille O'Neal did said some. He said a lot of things that was inappropriate. And it's not like he didn't understand her cues. I think he was fully aware of her cues. He just was going to continue to say whatever he wants to say. All right. So I know everyone's against she's older. He shouldn't be talking that way, and she's could be his daughter and things of that nature. But let's just be real for a second. Let's all of us be real. All right. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. If anything else comes in this week, I will cover it and talk about it. I'm up out of here. Deuces.